Okay, hi everybody, David Fogel, back with you, CEO of the Symphonina Foundation, back with another Symphonina Foundation podcast. We're already off to a great start this week with Anna Williams, Grammy-nominated violinist, Kirsten Agresta Copley, Grammy-nominated harpist, and now we're going all the way to Dresden, Germany to visit composer and singer-songwriter Lou McMahon, recent addition to the Recording Academy as a voter. Lou, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Well, my pleasure. I'm a recent voter too, Lou, so congratulations to both of us. And I think I would say from what I know about you, you've been working a long time. I've been working a long time, so we could call ourselves overnight successes. But here we are. So I wanted to get with you. You've composed in different categories of music, different genres, but you're working on something called Butterfly Wars, which is, as I understand it, a video game concept that includes contemporary classical music. So let's start there. Tell us about Butterfly Wars.
Yeah, so Butterfly Wars is a video game concept. I would say it's Souls-like, so it's dark and kind of gothic. And really, I started it because I really wanted to be a video games composer and vocalist. I didn't have the classical music background or that kind of thing. I was always coming from a place of being a singer-songwriter and just somebody who just plays and so I kind of set it up so that I could sort of develop my skills in practice. And most of the body of work so far has been chamber works. There's string quartets, string trio. So I was challenging myself to both compose and arrange for strings, and also to work on the theory side of things. Working with string musicians, because I'd always worked with sort of rock stars.
Yeah.
Classical music musicians too, so it's not like they don't cross over, but yeah, so it was just kind of more like working with classical ensemble people. And yeah, so it was just, that's what Butterfly Wars is for me. It's about developing and growing and becoming a really good classical composer and video game composer, as well as singer-songwriter in multiple genres. So I'm just sort of growing into myself musically, I would say, by the project. And where we're at now, after doing strings, a lot of string work, we have choral work that's in production in collaboration with Marcus Zierhofer at Audio Creatures. So I would say it's mine and Marcus's piece, and it's going to be so special. It's going to be recorded as part of the Live Score Berlin,
Nice.
in a beautiful church by a really, really wonderful choir. Cantus Domus is the name of the choir. They're just really, really, really good. They're really special. Yeah, so we have the choral work, and then there's also a solo work called Machine. And Machine is Irish for machine. It's just spelled differently. It's MEAISI, Fada over the I. And that's a solo work performed by me, and it's both contemporary classical and folky singer-songwriter, sort of avant-garde Bjork meets Silent Hill, sort of, it's like Bjork horror. But yeah, it's just by myself, and I'm really excited because I've been composing a lot at the piano. I love to play the piano as a composer, and I have completed a nocturne, and I'm going to be performing that live. There's some live shows coming up, and I'm excited about it. So it'll be at Glór in Clare in Ireland, and also at Gamescom and Neustage Friedrichshain in Berlin as well later in the year. So there's piano nocturnes, and then really, really, really such an honor and special moment for me to be composing for brass, so putting brass works into practice as well. I've started writing a piece and collaborating with Alex Iles, who's this wonderful musician, so experienced and really nice, kind person. Hollywood in demand. If you listen to any of the original Star Wars works or recordings by John Williams, especially Scherzo for X-Wing, you'll hear Alex on the trombone, and he's done just thousands and thousands of blockbuster movies. And so I'm really privileged that Alex is going to help me out with that, and I'm really learning from him as well, just through our little Zoom sessions where we just talk it out. And yes, it's really great, and I'm really thankful for all the musicians who've contributed to the project so far.
So when you were growing, I guess you probably started on the piano when you were young, like most people who are accomplished pianists do. When at some point along the line, you must have thought, okay, I do want to be composing for orchestra, right? And when you, how old were you when you made that like discovery, like that's what I want to be doing, or include doing that? Not that you're devoting yourself just to that, but that you're broadening your horizons to that. And then what were some of the challenges that you faced going from being a singer-songwriter to being an orchestral or chamber music composer?
I don't really feel challenged by it at all. I think it's sort of more of a progression,
Okay.
where I'm sort of growing into myself. I felt maybe I should have been doing this sooner, because a very vast period of time there where I didn't evolve into this because of, I'd say, confidence or fear, or maybe thinking, oh, I wouldn't be good enough, or, just kind of have it out. And then I just said, you know what, I have to do this. It's something I've wanted to do since I was a kid, is to compose music for movies and video games and things like that. And I really feel that that is the modern classical music as well. Like those big orchestral scores, they're just, there's very little difference between some Strauss and Wagner works and John Williams.
Right.
It's coming from the same place. It's more of an evolution, I think, than anything else.
Yeah, that's great. And so the appeal with video games, is that an appeal to you personally, or is that where you see opportunities for contemporary classical music to be performed, let's say?
Oh, that's interesting. Do you know what? I just like the way that video game music functions. Not necessarily that it has to be classical or it has to be any genre, but rather that how it functions within a game and for a game is kind of exciting. It's not exactly the same as fix the picture, because video game music moves around. And the reason why it moves around is because it's sort of operating in the geographical video game world where a character, a video game player, is moving around. So when emotion or intensity changes within a gameplay, the music has to also change. Unlike with fixed to picture, where you just have your linear passage and what you're looking at, that's the end product, But with the video game stuff, you really are writing for multiple possibilities. And a lot of that then includes, looping around your ideas and, thinking about trigger zones and theme, character, all these different characters, there's just a whole functionality to video game music that's a little bit different to movies, but yet still, you might be still writing similar pieces of work, like similar pieces of classical music as you would for off picture or on picture. It's just, I guess, I just really like the functionality of video game music, and that's sort of the appeal, I think.
Yeah, we do have to think in video games, and I played a lot of video games in my life, that you can return to the same place, and it's exactly where you left it. Maybe your character died and you've been reborn in exactly the same place, or maybe you just wandered around and now you're back to the same place. And it wouldn't happen in a movie, except maybe one of those Black Mirror movies where you have to choose the scene and you didn't like where that scene went, so you went back to where you were. But even then, the music could be very acceptably linear, and you just hear the same thing again. So yeah, you have a whole bunch of different considerations when you're writing video game music, and yeah, and it helps to know who the player is and what the platform is and what to expect from that game. I'm sure. So let me ask a different question in terms of Butterfly Wars. Are you helping design the game? Are you designing the game specifically, or are you doing the music? What's your role?
It's absolutely crazy, because I think when I started it, I was thinking, look, I'll make a game and I'll write the music for it, and I'll develop that in practice. And then I realized, you know what? It's a lot for one person to also to build a game and also write loads of music. And so I kind of said, okay, that's be one or the other for the moment, and then maybe a game eventually. So how do I conceptualize game music, and but both for visual as well. So anything that's happening visually is also just conceptualized upon a gaming idea. So the game is not made yet, and it's the plans for it are only possibilities.
Yeah,
I would say
concept.
You have the skills to jump into Unity and these game developing softwares, but I wouldn't say I love doing that. I don't.
It's okay. You don't have to love doing everything. And if you have the skill to do it, you can be helping other people when they're doing it, and
Yeah,
find things that maybe they would do better, or fix something, or just at least have an understanding of what someone else is working on when they're working for you in that role.
yeah. It's actually good to understand how that functions too, and to also, because that's how you really understand the game geographically as well. So not only are you trying to understand it kind of psychologically, where you want emotional shifts and all that kind of thing, but rather you can see on the screen where it triggers, how it triggers. I mean, it would be like following your Google map from here to the next room. And when you go into the next room, so you start here really neutral, you go into the next room, and all of a sudden there's a fight about to happen. The music is going to change in this. So it's like putting a pin on the map. So when the player crosses over that pin, then the software knows, okay, the music changes here. How do we trigger that within something like Unity? Is that you can use softwares like Fmod or WYs. And so I guess the functionality and the having familiarity with how all that sort of works helps as well for when you're actually composing video game music too.
Yeah, I have a question for you. We'll leave all that for a second and just talk about the Recording Academy as a new voter. And as I mentioned, we're talking to you today in Dresden, Germany. You're based in Ireland, right? What is the Recording Academy experience like in Europe? I have no knowledge of that. I have a reasonably good knowledge, I think, of what it's like in the United States, but what's it like in Europe?
I don't really like, because we don't. It's always, if you are in Europe and engaging with the Recording Academy, it's for the most part it's virtual. I would say, because your chapter is somewhere in the United States for turning. But and I've only just joined, as you know, so learning now. But there's been some amazing people who've reached out to me, like Kit Wakely and a few who've offered to help me to adjust to how it all works and all that. So I'm still just learning, just like yourself. So within Europe, other than making connections through becoming a voter with other voters who are based in Europe, which has been happening quite a bit via social media, I would say that the Academy is very much based in America, or virtual. And it's more of a sort of an international gathering where it makes the world feel really small. And I've never felt more accepted, and it's really giving me life and putting life into my music to feel like to be part of that community in the world. And
Wonderful.
Everybody has been so supportive. Actually, there's been so many people who have reached out to me, shared their music with me, and asked me to share my music back. And that kind of peer review has been really wonderful for my confidence and just feeling accepted and belonging to something. I have really loved the Academy experience so far, and I'm looking forward to getting more involved. I'd love to advocate in the area of artificial intelligence and really use my knowledge there and my voice for change, and to just contribute in all the ways that I can.
This sounds great, Lou. I will say I'll echo that. Even before I became a voting member this year, I've been involved with many different Grammy events and met a lot of wonderful people.
Yeah.
and already good friends. So welcome aboard. Lou, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
The best way is probably social media, probably Instagram or anywhere, Facebook, any of those. And it's just my name, Lou McMahon. So I don't know, you should be able to find me. If not, I do have a website and there's contact details via that. So yeah.
Well, I found you on Facebook. It worked for me. I encourage others to do the same. And Lou, we're going to listen to some more of your music on the way out here. And as we say at the Symphonina Foundation, if there's anything we can do to be of help to you, you just let us know. We're happy to do it.
Thank you. Same to you. I really loved listening to your work both last year and also this year. It's really, really beautiful work.
Thank you so much, Lou. We'll be in touch, and you keep us posted on your progress.
I will indeed. Best of luck.